So today I'm going to show you what a good graph of this information would look like. So this information is the days of a month, scanning through from 1 to 28, and estrogen levels. There are no units for estrogen levels here, they're just digits. So one thing you should notice straight away is that we haven't got every single day of the month shown here. So we've got a gap here between day 1 and day 8 that's quite big, but then in the next little area where there's lots of changes happening in the hormone levels, the days are happening much more closely together, and then later on they start to space out. So you need to be aware of that when you are deciding how to do your graph. Now there's some information here about which axis to use, so we're going to put days on the x-axis, which is the horizontal axis, and we're going to put hormone levels on the y-axis. Now, this is what your graph should look like. That's what I'm going to show you next. So if you want to have a go at drawing this yourself, pause this video and have a go first, and then check against my graph. Or if you want to see what good looks like, and then you can copy it, keep watching. So here's a graph that I've already drawn. I'll just pull out a little bit so you can see all the features. And then if I zoom in, let's have a look at some of the good things about this graph. First of all, we have a title, and the title should refer to both of the pieces of data that are going on the graph. So we're referring to hormone levels, and we're referring to days. The important thing for this graph is that we get the days evenly spaced. So you can see I've started at 0. I've done little dink lines and I've gone up in 2s. So little dink lines, so I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, all the way up in 2s to 28. And I've done that even though we don't have any data for 2, 4, and 6. They still need to be there to space out the days in an even manner that resembles what you would see on a ruler. Now going up the side, I've got hormone levels, and I've decided to go up in 5s. You can choose whatever scale you want, but you want to try to choose a scale so that your graph takes up at least half of your available paper. Just making sure that you remember to put labels in for the x-axis and a label in for the y-axis. Now when I've plotted my points for day number 1, it was 10, so I've put a neat little cross. And then for day number 8, it was 10 as well, so a neat cross. Now, sometimes we do a best fit line for graphs, but in this case, we are actually looking at hormone levels, and if we think about it, we are expecting to see low levels and changing levels, so we actually want to track the actual levels. So I've joined this graph dot to dot. You could also choose to do a smooth curve, but I decided to go dot to dot. I felt that was a neater way on this graph, but a smooth curve would work too. I've also added a key because I know that my pluses are the data points for estrogen, and I know from my data sheet over here that I'm going to plot a second graph for progesterone. So for progesterone, I might actually use a cross like this for progesterone. Okay, so progesterone, I'll add a cross, and I'll add my data to the same graph. So that's what good looks like. Let's have a look at this graph over here and see what mistakes have been made. So pause this video and see if you can spot a few mistakes that have been made on this graph. Okay, now you've had a chance to have a look at it. You should notice that the biggest mistake is happening on this axis here, because they have gone up not like a ruler, but they've just put the digits as they appeared in the table. So they've gone 1, 8, 9, 11. Well, that doesn't make sense because the gap between 1 and 8 is 7. There's 7 spaces in there, but the gap between 8 and 9 is only 1, and they've made those spaces look like they're equal. And that doesn't work. Over here, it looks like they've done a good job until you notice this gap here. They've gone from 0 to 10 in the same space that they've gone 10 to 15. So this space here is representing 10, but this space, which is the same size, is only representing 5. So they should have had a space in here for the 5 level as well. They're also missing a label for the axes, they're missing a title, they're missing a key, and they have not chosen how to join the dots yet, so you would have to choose that method as well. I hope you spotted all those mistakes. Good luck with drawing your graphs.